Hey guys, it's Rubhen here with a video for Meow Motors, a go-kart racing game made by ArtVostok. The game will release as early access on June 4th, but will have its full release in December. Now, before I begin this video, I want to mention that this is not technically a review of the game. I have done several reviews of games before, and there's always people that will both agree and disagree on the scores that I give for the games. Everyone has a personal opinion when it comes to scores, so I stopped doing that. What I plan to do in these types of impressions videos is to play through the game, give you a summary of what the game is, what you can expect from it, what it offers, and if it's worth your time based on the game's price point. I'm not going to give a score, as it's easy to put a score on a game and critique it, but the devs have the harder job of making the game. So from now on, I will not be insulting any devs by scoring games, but I'll just be giving my impressions. Now that's out of the way, I'd like to thank Nikita for reaching out to me on Instagram about this game and offering me a review key in order for me to check it out. Thanks for the opportunity, Nikita. So let's begin. To start off, let's talk about the story. It's there and not there. When you start a new game, you're given a static cutscene introducing your cat character and a misfortune that happens to him. Then your goal becomes to just win all the races to reach the top and to get revenge on the character that hurt you by beating him, and that's pretty much it. You get one cutscene at the start and one at the end when you win, so there's not much story involvement. It's just there to place you into the campaign, which is segregated into different cups, 12 to be exact. You also meet other characters in the game that will join your crew and you can play as them, which is a nice touch. The problem here is that none of the characters have any kind of personality, background, or any kind of real story-based screen time, so it's hard to get invested in any of these characters. I just chose the ones I like based on their goofy looks. Other than that, I had no connection with the story, which I feel the devs could have tried to implement a bit more, but hey, I guess that wasn't the main focus of the game. And that's all I have to say about the story. Now let's talk about the audio, visuals, and performance. First off, the characters don't speak, which is kind of annoying. I understand if you can't put voiceovers in the cutscene and want us to read them, but the characters can at least say something when they drive, use weapons, or do something. They're just quiet the whole time, so all you hear the whole game are the sound effects and repeating music. This was the biggest disappointment for me, which is the audio selection and its variety. There are, off the top of my head, say 5 plus songs, and these get repeated over and over. About 2 hours into the game, I couldn't listen to it anymore. I just ended up muting the game and played music on the background while I played the game. There are so many maps, at least having a song for each map would have alleviated this lack of variety in the tracks that get played over and over again. The reason this becomes apparent is because there are moments when you're on let's say, a snow map, and you get banjo music that you expect from the Wild West map. It just doesn't fit the type of map you're playing on and takes you out of the experience. I mean, what's there is fine and it's meant to make you have a fun time and make you feel cheery, but hearing the same track like the 20th time within an hour can get real annoying real fast. Other than that, the sound effects for cars, weapons, and power-ups are all fine as you would expect from any other go-kart racing game. Next, let's talk about the visuals. They look great. I'm not going to get into super duper details about the graphics as I'm not a techie person, but the colors used throughout the game are vibrant. It's just a pretty game to look at, super colorful. Now in terms of cars, there are 10 of them and they all look unique, but I do wish there were some more colors to choose from for the colors, like you can change the color style of them. There's only like 5 or 6 colors for each car, which is kind of a disappointment for me. In terms of characters themselves, I wish you can change the color of their costumes as well, as they only get one costume color, which is a disappointment. There are 18 maps in the game and each one feels distinct and they all have their own theme and colors, so there's plenty of variety in that aspect. Now in terms of performance, I ran the game at 720p and second to last max settings. The reason being, if I went up any further, I wouldn't be able to play and record at the same time. But I can assure you that I had no problem running the game on my laptop and max settings. You can check the build of my laptop below if you'd like to compare yourself. Alright, let's talk about the gameplay now, the most important part of the game. Well, to be honest, I can't really say much more than that it's a go-kart racing type game akin to Mario Kart, just with less characters, cars, stages, and power-ups. And that's okay, I guess, because the game is coming out as early access for now, so there is a lot of time for improvements and hopefully new additions to the game. The game has 3 modes: race, drift, and strike. Race is what you'd expect. You're racing to finish first in the line along with 7 other opponents. Drift mode features just you, and you're trying to earn drift points by drifting and keeping up your multiplier. Crashing into things will reset your points, so you gotta be careful. Strike is a more aggressive mode where you need to destroy the other karts in the race. You're tasked to destroy a certain amount of karts to get completion stars. Now, you have to be really careful in this mode because if your kart gets destroyed, your score will actually drop down by 1. So it's kind of like a cat and mouse game mode where you attack and then you try your best to avoid the others. It's actually the most fun mode out of the 3 that's given in there. The one huge thing about this game that other go-kart racers really don't feature is a health bar. Every time you take damage, your kart becomes damaged and moves more slowly. So you'll also have to constantly look out for repair kits throughout the races. This is more tactical than you may think, as sometimes you might want to get the shield instead of a weapon so you can stay alive till you get to the next repair kit. Or you might want to slow down in order to avoid the others and be safe when trying to go for the repair kits. A lot of split-second decisions will have to be made due to the health bar mechanic, and I think I like it overall. Other than that, there's not much else to talk about because though you may get different cars to unlock, it's not like they have any attributes to them. So characters and karts are just purely for an aesthetic standpoint, which I feel they could have worked on, as for me, I don't really care what car or what cat I'm using, as they all will give me the same results. I feel like there would be more strategy involved if the karts and characters each had their own unique attributes here and there. It's something for the devs to think about in the full release. In terms of power-ups, you got the basics from rockets and machine guns to the more crazy stuff like bubblegums and shampoos. It definitely gave me a good laugh. Still wish there was more. I know, I'm spoiled and I just want more of everything, but you know, you can't help it. When you play a game like this, you're just like, I want more, and that's the one major problem for me. It's just like, it's held back by just having just a tad bit of each selection here and there. Now, in order to unlock all the cars, characters, and power-ups, you need to get 3 stars in almost 90% of the events. So you'll need to be on your best form to get those stars. The main campaign took me 4 hours on normal, which is quite short, and my problem isn't with how short it is. My problem is actually some events and maps repeat themselves a lot, making the journey through the campaign tedious. I'd rather not do the same drift event that I did 2 cups ago, but hey, well, you gotta do it again in the same map no less. If we remove some of these repeating events, you're looking at completing the game in about 2 hours. My problem, as I said before, is definitely with the repetition. I don't mind going through new maps with different game modes once or twice, but when I come back to this event with the same map and mode for the 4th time, there's a problem with variety there, and it's definitely evident. The least the devs could have done is reverse the layout of the map so you're going backwards on the map, but no, it's the same path every time, so it gets repetitive real fast. With 18 maps and giving us the ability to go backwards through a map, you're looking at more variety, which is all I could ask for at this point. That's my only real complaint in the single player. In terms of multiplayer, you can play with up to 4 players in split screen, which can be a hassle because you need to plug in 4 controllers. This took a while for me to work out with a buddy, so I don't have footage, but I can say it's functional and really fun. We all had a great blast playing it. My only gripe is the fact that there is no online multiplayer. I mean, this game begs for some online. At this point, the game has a really good foundation, and all we really need are more maps, power-ups, characters, modes, game modes, and for the love of all good things in video games, please add that online multiplayer, and we got something special here. We can only hope that the devs take this into consideration and improve upon a solid game. They have 6 months to do it. And that's all I can say about the game at the moment of its early access version. I have good impressions overall, and hopefully the game gets solid support throughout. I hope you guys found this useful. I feel like this type of video is more useful for many people who might be on the fence about the game. If you like these type of videos, do let me know in the comments, and I would love to make more of these in the future for each game I play. Now, before I leave you guys, I just wanted to mention that it would be really helpful and much appreciated if you guys could like, rate, and share the video, and of course subscribe to help the channel grow, and stay tuned to more new game content. I'd like to thank you guys for watching the video, but that's going to be it for this one. I'll see you guys next time, and as always, take care.